Thank you, Tim. This is the Meditation Support Group from the School of Christian Mysticism. Most of you are aware that I've been going through COVID over the last few days, and surprisingly, it's been a time of some spiritual development or insight. Several things have happened that have led me to consider doing things differently, and one of those things is that I picked up a book in the middle of it and I couldn't understand what I was reading. So bad was the brain fog, and it's still there a little bit now. So forgive me if I ramble a bit, but so bad was the brain fog, I just simply couldn't understand what I was reading, and it's a book I'd been reading perfectly well before. A book about Indian Advaita, not particularly complicated, but I just couldn't get it, and this quite alarmed me. But then it made me think, why do I do all this reading? I'm sitting here surrounded by books. I don't know how many. Huge numbers. I buy them regularly. Don't always even read them. And what am I seeking? What is it about, all this reading? And I realise that I'm spending so much time reading about God and spirituality, reading about prayer, that it's almost become a substitute for being with God, a substitute for praying. This feeling that reading about things, getting clever thoughts, thinking I'm understanding clever things, is in some way important for spiritual enlightenment. But then I think that this is a very recent thing that is available for people. It never used to be like that. Certainly in the time of Jesus, he didn't send them out with a text that he'd written to give out to people, to copy and give to people. Certainly couldn't do any Zoom meetings. He just wandered around fairly locally, told people about the truth, and then said, well, off you go and tell other people about it. And from that, it spread all over the world without the need for books and electronics. The books came in later, of course, much later, really. Books seem to be a distraction. I'm left wondering what to do about that now. Should I rid myself of them? That's alarming. Are they really necessary? I think most people here read a lot? Do we need to read so much? What's it bringing us? We can read about other faiths as well now, not just Christianity. And when I was looking at the books, one sprung out at me. It's called Death Before Dying. It seemed quite pertinent at the height of COVID. And it's the Sufi poems of Sultan Bahu. I must have bought this book at some time. I've completely forgotten it. I don't remember having read it. He was a 17th century Indian Sufi poet. I'm just going to read one of his poems and then suggest that we go into silence for some time. It's quite short. Seekers of this world are like dogs, wandering from door to door in wonder. Their attention is riveted on a bone, their lives wasted in bickering. Short on intelligence and unable to understand, they set out in search of water. Apart from recollection of the Lord, all else is idle chatter. A time of silence now. apart from recollection of the Lord, all else is idle chatter. It's time to move now from silent meditation, from recollection of the Lord, into a time of conversation. Is it just idle chatter? What is recollection of the Lord? People may like to think about that, or think about whatever you want to think about. Just a suggestion. I'll try. I can't moderate the discussion terribly well because I can't see everybody on a phone. So I need to ask people just to use their ordinary sort of manners, really, by not interrupting others and waiting till people have finished before saying anything.